shocks and even think about long-term goals like education. So that is around 17.1%, quite a
telling number.
Yeah, a telling number about the health of our economy.
Thank you. That has been Patrick Alushula just giving us the breakdown in regards to this very interesting report, and I know you can catch a comprehensive update on the Standard newspaper as well as on our website later on here on the program. Well, let's take a look at still matters to do with banking. Of course, all this comes right on the back of what we did see the Central Bank of Kenya indicating in regards to matters that relate with the stability of the banking sector. And one of the banks that has been affected is Imperial Bank. And my colleague, Peter Theory, it's been a rough 2 years living with the pandemic, and the banking sector, for example, has been adversely affected. While some banks reported profits, others were put under receivership, while some went into mergers and acquisitions to survive. Well, Theory, what can you tell us in regards to what is the state of our banking sector? And of course, just break it down for us. What is receivership?
Thank you, Abby. You see, like a child is born, and once the child is born, we expect the child to grow, the child to mature, and probably at some point we will see a decline, that is as we close in towards death. And that is what happens in business from the point of inception, and then this growth and it gets to a point of maturity. But when it comes to banks, we try very much to not see them go down the path of decline, and they'd rather remain in a plateau, if at all, if not continue growing. And that is what the CBK tries to protect against. Remember, if a bank collapses, there are so many people who put in jeopardy, and so everything possible is done to ensure banks don't collapse. At this point, there's an interference in which the CBK will seek to find a way for capital raising, for cost cutting, for changing, for better management, or for better business models to try and bring probably a bank back into profitability, or to arrest some of the problems that are in the bank. And if that doesn't happen, that is when there is appointed what we call a receiver manager. And a receivership is that situation where you're trying to stabilize structures in the bank. You bring in something like a caretaker manager who's supposed to ensure that the problems that are facing the bank are actually dealt with, and there is something of a stability that was lacking, and that's why that person was appointed. And you will realize that a receiver will be there for a period of, say, 6 months, and then once they have not probably done what was supposed to be done in 6 months, they might request for an extension that might go up to 12 months. But if that doesn't work, they will write to the Central Bank of Kenya, and then the bank can be put into liquidation. And once that happens, this is where you now try to recoup assets or sell assets that can help pay back depositors' money. Abby, you will realize that in the past around 28 years or 30 years, we've had over 25 banks in Kenya put into liquidation, with some of them even eventually being wound up. And they are wound up the minute you realize that the efforts that you're putting into trying to recoup money through sale of assets and such are not bearing fruit, because you're ending up spending too much money, more than you can actually get back. So banks get wound up. The latest casualty, as we discussed, is Imperial Bank, with others having come before it, including Chase Bank, Dubai Bank, and probably Chester House. So we have had a whole list and some of the main reasons why such banks have gone down the way of receivership, liquidation, and finally being wound up, against what probably the CBK would want to happen, but actually has to happen at some point, is fraud and probably some shady dealings somewhere. So Abby, that is basically what happens from the moment that probably internal management can no longer exude confidence, and probably customers no longer have confidence in a banking system or in a bank.
Interesting. And I know you still have some data. Could you just walk us through some of the banks that have been under receivership, and did they eventually get their issues resolved?
Yes, if you look at, we have a long list that KDIC can show, and we have just listed a few banks that have been placed under into liquidation after going through receivership. And They are well over 25, but we just have a few banks here to see, like Postbank Credit Limited, from 1993 to this day in liquidation. That means that the liquidator is still trying to, recoup funds that can be used to pay some of the depositors who've never gotten their money back. We have the likes of Trade Bank, again 1993, that's 28 years. Abi, we have Middle Africa Finance Limited, all the way from 1993 to date. In the list, we have banks that, like Pan-African Bank, 1994, the banks 96, all the way to 2015. And we have some banks such as Heritage Bank Limited, which was finally wound up after probably they realized that the efforts that they were putting in were a little too much and they were not getting anything out of it. So we have a whole list of banks that have been listed by KDIC, which were put into liquidation, with some of them eventually going down the way we wouldn't want them to go. That is being wound up completely.
Indeed, thank you for that detailed and comprehensive outline. That has been our reporter, Peter Theory, just walking us through